So the vast majority this past week were a lot of very easy to like, mass appealing fragrances. I do tend to wear that most days. I like something that's just easy going, smells great. I'm gonna work in most situations, casual, dressy, whatever I need. But on occasion I do mix it up a bit randomly throughout the week, which you'll see with the first day of the week. Not so mass appealing and a bit unique. But it's time for the weekly rotation. It's week number 87, so stay tuned. Like I was saying, starting off on Sunday, not a mass appealing fragrance by any means. This is one of the only, this is pretty much the only, not really that mass appealing fragrance. It's a unique, new release, niche fragrance that is the best rose fragrance I've ever put my nose on. I'm talking about Zaharoff Signature Rosé. At the recording of this, it's Sunday evening. I just got out the shower, and I don't want to just douse the shirt in it, but after this video I'm gonna be spraying myself with this. I just used the Signature Rosé bar soap in the shower as well, which for those of you that pre-ordered, you got that bar soap, you know what I'm talking about. That stuff's amazing. So I did do a full review on this one. I had a decant long ago from the test lab batches. It is something special, it really is. Even if you don't really like rose fragrances, there's a good chance you might still like this. It's a very smoky incense rose, very fresh and bright rose up top that starts to get a bit darker, edgier, sweeter, and warmer as it dries. It's no slouch in performance. It's a masculine rose, which is a rare thing. But by all means, ladies, I know a lot of ladies that have been enjoying wearing this. Don't hesitate. This is definitely a release from Zaharoff that all the ladies can wear too. And like I said, I did a full review. If you want to get any more information from my opinion anyways on it, make sure to check on my channel. But on Sunday and tonight, actually, I wore Zaharoff Signature Rosé. Really, really good release. And then out the shower that night, I don't know why I was in the mood for it, but I went with Michael Kors Extreme Blue. I had it on my little rotation table that I keep that's right in front of me that you guys can't see. And that's why I spray off to the side now in these rotation videos, because it's directly in front of me. I don't want to just soak all the fragrances with all these sprays that I do in the videos, but it's just creamy, woody, fresh, smooth. It's a decent performer. 30 bucks will get you this 4-ounce bottle when you find them at the rack stores. That's the best way to get it, is at the rack stores. Online from discounters, yeah, they're still a decent price, but they're cheaper in the rack stores when you can find them, because this 4-ounce bottle I think is 40 some odd bucks online, whereas 30 bucks when you find it in the rack stores like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, places like that. This is probably my favorite Michael Kors fragrance. It's the most easy to like, mass appealing of the bunch, ergo probably why it's my favorite. Very, very nice, very enjoyable, great work fragrance. I was just in the mood for it out the shower. Not something I normally wear out the shower. I've been mixing it up a bit more with stuff that performs a little bit better than my usual cheap aquatics that I wear out the shower. For some reason I was in the mood for it, and I enjoyed every minute of it being on my skin. Out the shower that night, Michael Kors Extreme Blue. Moving into Monday. Now we're really getting mass appealing from here the rest of the way. From last night out the shower, Sunday night out the shower to now. So while not my absolutely favorite from its line, it's the one I wear the most, hence the reason it's in this rotation. I'm talking about Acqua di Gio Absolu. I love this stuff. I really do. It gets a lot of flack, a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people can't stand it. I get it, whatever. I like it. That's the biggest concern for me, is if I like it or not. Same goes for each of you. Most important thing is whether or not each one of you like the fragrance. Doesn't matter what I think or anyone else. Do you like it? When it comes to this one, I love it. It's fantastic. A friend of mine, actually, it wasn't for him. He took my advice, got a big bottle. I didn't say get a 200 ml, but he got a 200 ml. Ended up not liking it. Kind of gave him a headache. Offered it to me. Said, look, I know it'll go to a good home because I know you like it. It's yours if you want it. So I got a 200 ml backup. So I'm set for life on this fragrance. And that's one of the reasons I wear it the most in the line, is because I have so much of it. Very enjoyable, fruity aquatic, kind of Invictus Aqua-ish, but still leans true to the Acqua di Gio DNA in my opinion. A lot of patchouli going on in this one. That seems to be more so the signature of all of the flankers in the Acqua di Gio line is this patchouli note. It's kind of like taking Profumo, removing the incense and adding some fruits. You kind of end up with Absolute. And one of my favorite designer fragrances for the summertime. It's a beast on my skin. It's a compliment puller for sure. It smells great in my opinion. That was what I wore during the day on Mondays. Acqua di Gio Absolute. Then when I got out the shower that night, terrible performer. Smells incredible. Kenneth Cole Reaction. Cheapy, pleasant, super unisex, synthetic watermelon juice. Artificial watermelon juice, I guess, would be the way to say that. But it's super synthetic, but it smells like a candy watermelon, almost like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, if you will, is what it smells like you're spraying yourself with. Hour, 2 hours. Nothing but a refresher kind of thing on my skin. That's why I like to wear it out the shower. It's a good gym bag scent. That's all I find use for it, to be honest with you. But even this is prime example. Even fragrances that give you an hour or two, they have uses. They have uses for me anyways, because I like to wear a fragrance for every minute of the day, to be honest with you. It's very rare that I don't have some fragrance oils on my skin for one reason or another. And out the shower, I was just in the mood for it. I went with Kenneth Cole Reaction. Moving into Tuesday is a recent cheapy rack store pickup that I have really been enjoying. I like it so much more than the original and so much more than its Absolute flanker that smells nothing like this. But Montblanc Emblem Intense. This is definitely one of my favorite cheapy pickups of the year. It was actually in my recent video of my favorite cheapy pickups so far this year. And I hadn't even worn did a full wearing yet. Now I've got a full wearing under my belt. And I gotta tell you, this stuff's great. It's a very good performer. It's not a beast by any means, but man, I can't stop smelling myself when I wear this one. It is very, very good. I kind of wish I had a 100 ml, but 60 ml is going to last me a long, long time. It's fruity. It's got that violet leaf and cinnamon going for it that the original had. It's just dialed up. It's intensified. Definitely fruitier than the original. I was every bit of a 6 to 7 hour fragrance. Like I said, not some crazy beast or anything like that. If you spray your clothes, you probably get 8 hours, but I got about 6 or 7 hours out of it, roughly. And projections, solid. Average, slightly above average kind of stuff. It wasn't a monster by any means, but definitely was not a weak projector. Very, very present, very pronounced. Wife enjoyed this one. Didn't get a compliment from anybody else the day that I wore it, but the wife definitely liked the way it smelled. $30. I got this 60 ml at the rack store. I looked on FragranceNet just out of curiosity, and it was mid-20s for a 60 ml. And then like 32, 34 bucks, something like that for a 100 ml. So right about a few dollars more than what I paid for the 60. You can get a 100 online from FragranceNet with the discount code, but even a 60, I think it was like mid to low 20s actually. It's a good price. It's a solid fragrance. Don't overlook this one. If you have been just not giving it the time of day, give it a shot. Even if you have the original, it's gonna smell redundant, but it'll make you never touch the original again. That's probably what's going to happen with me. If anything, because I have a 40 ml of the original, if anything, when I wear it, I know I'm going to be gone all day, I might bring the 40 as a refresher. That's all I think the 40 ml original that I have, Montblanc Emblem, will be good for at this point, because this is just that much better in my opinion. And during the day, that's what I wore. Emblem Intense from Montblanc. Out the shower. Back to those super weak, fresh fragrances that I typically wear out the shower. But this one just smells so damn good. It's Paris Hilton for men. This watery cucumber, fig, airy fruitiness. It's great. It smells great. Performance is awful. You know, it's like a 2 hour fragrance on my skin, 2 to 3 hours. But it smells great. I don't mind refreshing. I have no issues with a 2 to 3 hour fragrance, just like with Kenneth Cole Reactions. 1 to 2 hours. I just refresh, you know. I have a backpack that I keep with me when I'm not home, so I always have a fragrance, my fragrance for the day, and decants with some variety in the event the situation changes or I just want to switch it up later in the day. And this pretty much strictly out the shower, and one that may make its rotation into my bag for the gym because it's a good gym bag scent. Very fresh, invigorating, refreshing, great after, you know, after you're about to leave, spray yourself down before you can get to a shower, because you don't always have time to shower at the gym. And this is really good for stuff like that. Now the shower, it's exactly what I went with it for. Because it smells great, it's not overpowering. Paris Hilton for men. Moving into Wednesday is a new acquisition. It's an exclusive to Perfumania. And the best way I can describe Mercedes-Benz Man Bright is it's a more warm and powdery version of Bleu de Chanel. That's a good way to look at it. The opening, it was very familiar. I was thinking it was kind of Y vibes, and it does have a little bit of a Y EDT vibe going for it. Not as synthetic, essentially. But as it starts to get more into the heart, that initial blast calms down. It starts to smell a lot closer to Bleu de Chanel, but it starts to get a lot more powdery. The tonka bean is very pronounced in this one. It's a tonka bean dominant fragrance. If you don't like tonka bean, you won't like this fragrance. But if you do like tonka bean, it's actually quite a nice tonka bean fragrance. But are a lot of you going to want to pay full retail for something like that? Probably not. It's a blue fragrance through and through. Add to my blue fragrance collection. I did pay full retail for this because, like I said, it's exclusive to Perfumania. It's not something you can just get a discount on. And I was fine doing that. I tested it first. For those of you that saw my Perfumania video where I sampled it with Eddie. Shout out to Eddie. I'll be doing a video with Eddie in the upcoming week. I like it. I don't feel like I wasted money. Is it worth the 90 bucks I paid? Probably not, but I was okay with buying it because obviously I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't feel so because I sampled it first. I like it. It's a great addition to any blue fragrance collection if you're a big fan of blues, like I am. But that's the best way I can describe it. The easiest way to describe it anyway is picture Bleu de Chanel if it was much more warm, powdery, and sweet. It's kind of how you can look at this one. Bright, the name's fitting in the opening. Super bright bergamot mint, very green citrus, super bright. Then it gets warmer, much more powdery and sweet. I'm digging this one. Full review coming. I want to get a few more wears in first, but Mercedes-Benz Man Bright. Then when I got the shower, it was time for a shave, and I had used my prototype Business Over Pleasure shave soap because the official launch and ending of pre-orders hadn't happened yet, so I didn't have my, I had my aftershave splash, I just wasn't opening it yet till Friday. So I know that's a lot of information, but I went with Nivea Deep Comfort Aftershave Splash. It's kind of like a bourbon vanilla kind of smell. Kind of a boozy vanilla with some woodiness to it. Doesn't last long, makes my skin feel really good. Hour and it's gone, if even that. So after about 45 minutes or so, I went ahead and sprayed Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Summer 2013 on my skin. Gave myself a good 6 sprays. Man, I love the way this stuff smells. Finding a reason to wear it. It's just a fresher version of Le Male, essentially. It's brighter. It's lighter. It's still that aromatic, minty vanilla type of smell. It's Le Male, just fresher, essentially. Average, slightly below average performer on my skin. Nothing special. 5-hour range. I've heard people say they get less than that. That's always the case with all fragrances. Some people get less, some people get more. Had some people tell me they get 7 or 8 hours and it screams off their skin. Not my experience with Le Male Summer 2013. This was going around Burlington for a while for around 20 bucks for a 125 ml. I was lucky enough to secure one. A viewer was nice enough to pick it up for me because I could not find it. So I'm happy to have it. I've worn it several times since I got it, and this is just adding to one of those wears. I love the way this stuff smells. I actually like it more than the original Le Male because it's brighter and fresher. And out the shower that night, that's what I went with. Moving into Thursday is one that kind of was in the back of the shelf on this other niche shelf that I have that was getting lost in the shuffle, that when late spring rolled around, I was like, man, I really need to wear that. And I forgot to wear it, so I made it a point to grab it out the other day. Man, lemony, green, fresh. The Gate Fragrances First Sight. This stuff smells amazing. Very natural. Strong, but not too strong. Every bit of an 8-9 hours last on my skin. Man, but it's just this jello-y lemon type of smell up top. Very green, fresh at the same time. This is such an enjoyable elixir. This stuff is really, really good. I got it in the winter, and I was saving it for the spring and forgot to wear it in the spring. And most of the summer has gone by now, and I just happened to look on the shelf and saw the box for it. I said, I need to wear that. I haven't wore it yet. I haven't given it a full wearing. And man, look for more full wearings. Well, more appearances in the weekly rotation over the next several weeks, because this stuff's really, really good. Get a sample and try this. Obviously, high-end niche fragrance, not cheap. So definitely try before you buy. They have discovery sets and stuff like that, so you can try the whole house. Memories, fantastic. Smoked cherry. That's a must-have from the house. And this one, depends on how you feel about it. It's a freshie. I know some people don't like spending the money on niche freshies because they're not crazy room-filling beast mode fragrances, but try before you buy because it smells incredible and it performs well enough for me. During the day, that's what I went with. The Gate Fragrances. This is First Sight. Then we got the Shower, my favorite gym fragrance. And then on occasion, because I keep a 1 ounce bottle in my gym in my backpack, and on occasion I pull out the 100 ml to spray out the shower. Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Blue. You guys know I love this First Instinct line. I like all of them. With Extreme probably being my least favorite. And Extreme performs the best. That's like an 8-hour fragrance with a solid, strong 2.5 hours of projection on my skin. It's the best performer, and it's actually my least favorite because I like the fresher ones more. This is one of my favorite cheap blue fragrances. Not my favorite cheap blue, obviously. I place First Instinct together higher than it in its own line. And of course, Aqua Essenziale Blue, my favorite cheap blue fragrance. I mean, nothing's knocking that off its pedestal that I've put it on. But this one's still enjoyable for me. Another one, not real long lasting, 3 to 4 hours type of stuff. Pretty loud for the first hour. Has a strong green and shower gel and Broxton smell to it. It's typical blue fragrance with some herbaceous components to it. Nothing special, but it smells really good for what it is. It really does. The scent on this one is really nice. You can get a 50 ml for 20 bucks, 100 for 25 bucks. They pop up all the time at the rack stores. I usually try to point them out when I see them out there for you guys. Worth owning in my opinion. If you're looking for a solid, cheap blue fragrance, great casually, great for work, fantastic for the gym because that's what I mainly use it for. But out the shower, Abercrombie and Fitch First Instinct Blue. Moving into Friday, speaking of blue. So, this ruins doing the video, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway. So I went with Azzaro Chrome Extreme. You can see my bottle's constantly leaking. Every time I spray it, it doesn't matter. And look, it's been a few days since I sprayed it, and it still continues to leak. It's irritating, it really is. But what I wanted to tell you guys about the fragrance, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's a beast. Look, here we go, back to more leakage. It smells awesome. Compliment puller. It's your standard strong aquatic blue fragrance. But it smells very similar to Acqua di Gio Profondo. If you have Profondo, redundant buy. If you don't have Profondo, cheaper alternative. And they perform about the same. This is an 8-9 hour fragrance, even bordering 10 hours. This is a beast. It's long, it's loud, it's aquatic, it's blue. It's all of what you would expect from Acqua di Gio Profondo, basically. Yes, Acqua di Gio Profondo smells a little bit better, just a little bit. In the air, you probably won't notice the difference. Up close, if you're really into fragrances, like those of you that are watching this video, you're really into fragrances in the first place, so you'll probably be able to tell the difference if you side by side compare them. But in the air, I don't think most people would know the difference, to be honest with you. And this is quite a bit cheaper, in the 40 some odd dollar range, 40 to 50 bucks depending on where you find it. You can get this 100 ml. Profondo from discounters is still like $20, $25 more, something like that. So if you don't have Profondo, you like Profondo, you don't want to spend the money, this would be a really good alternative for you because it performs pretty much exactly the same and smells almost exactly the same. Yes, it still smells like Chrome, don't get me wrong. It smells like an extreme version of Chrome. It's appropriately named, don't get me wrong. But it smells more like Acqua di Gio Profondo than it does Chrome, for sure. This is, I mean, the bottle's even the same damn color almost. The lighting's not doing the justice of the color. Great fragrance. Super redundant since I have, sorry about that, there was a little thing hanging from the mic. Super redundant because I have Profondo. I will wear them both. I'll just mix it up, but it's pretty much the same fragrance. So if you're looking for Profondo for a few dollars less, grab Chrome Extreme. Absolutely loved wearing it, by the way. And then out the shower, for those of you that didn't see my live shave on Instagram with Chris from Gentleman's Nod, that video's on the replay's on this channel, also on IGTV on my Instagram. But the shave sets for the Zed Creators Collection are officially live and for sale. Pre-orders are over. Now when you buy it, it gets shipped to you. This is the aftershave splash. Has all the metallics. This is sticking with the Casino Royale theme. This is the slot machine for the aftershave splash. Comes with a candle, which actually happens to be right here. I forgot it was right here. This is supposed to be a poker chip. You know, this is a... Pop that open for you guys. Small candle. I have not burned it yet. Boy, does it smell good. It translates really well to a candle. Then the shave soap, as well as a collectible coin and a hydrating body bar. So bar soap. And of course, I gave myself a few sprays of the fragrance as well, which there still is a small supply of bottles. I'll have links for both down below. The shave sets come directly from Gentleman's Nod. Of course, the fragrance is from Zaharoff's website. There is a bundle to save by getting the bottle and the shave set. You'll save 20 bucks versus getting them individually. So if you were interested in getting both, you can save a few bucks by getting them together. So out the shower that night, that was what I went with. I went with the Business Over Pleasure shave set for my nice live shave that I did with Chris. And of course I gave myself a few sprays of Business Over Pleasure. Finally on Saturday, definitely the most expensive fragrance that I wore for the week. It is very mass appealing though. But at the same time, it's the most complex fragrance I wore for the week because there's so many layers to this. It's a Roger Parfums fragrance, so what do you expect? Of course it's complex. I'm talking about Burlington 1819. It never ceases to amaze me because it's really, 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 and I can't stress really enough, really warm and musky in the deep dry down on my skin. Almost like a body odor kind of muskiness. I know that sounds strange. And I don't mean a nasty smell at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain. But up top, it's this beautiful, authentic citrus peel. That's the rind of the citrus, orange, a bunch of rum absolute, this warm booziness that stays around for a long time. There's this green, herbaceous quality to it. I don't really get any florals. I get dense woods later in the dry down with that heavy musk. This is a wow factor. I love this fragrance. I don't know who else at Wow's that's watching this, that's tried it. For me, it's a big time wow factor. I love this stuff. It's so good. It's just so good. And look, it's super expensive. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, you need to buy this. You need to sample this. Get your hands on a sample, get your hands on a decant, and try it. Nothing, when you start getting into this price bracket, I don't believe anything's blind buy safe. I really don't. No matter how mass appealing the scent may be, I still believe to make sure you're getting your money's worth before you commit to spending hundreds of dollars on a bottle, I believe you really should sample it first. That's the God's honest truth. If you want to get bold and roll the dice and blind buy it, hey, every niche fragrance that I've ever bought, I've blind bought for the most part. Very few I sampled first. Pretty much all my Parfums de Marly fragrances, I just bought those. Same thing with Manceras and stuff. I usually just roll the dice. But I don't suggest you do that. I suggest you sample. By all means, if you want to do like I do, do like I do. But this is a wow factor fragrance in my opinion. The only other fragrance that has wowed me just as much, if not more, is Nichane Ani this year. And I think that's my two favorite pickups of the year, hands down. And of course, they're two very expensive fragrances, but they smell like they're worth what you're paying. And during the day, I was just enjoying myself smelling like Roger Parfums Burlington 1819. Stuff is freaking amazing. And then out the shower, I had just picked this up, so I decided to wear it out the shower that night. It's Tommy Bahama Maritime Deep Blue. It's a little too... I had people in the comments saying, oh no, this one's closer to Polo Blue than Maritime Journey. Honestly, I find this is a bit spicier than Polo Blue. Yes, this resembles Polo Blue as well, but this is just so much spicier on my skin. I looked at the notes afterwards and I saw some cardamom and some rosemary, so all of that makes sense. all that makes sense to what I smell because it's very spicy, very fresh spicy on my skin. Not a deep warm spice, but spicy nonetheless. Not super aquatic, but slightly aquatic, but more spicy and green on my skin. That's why I was thinking along the lines of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I put it over there. I actually wore that during the day today. And they do have a similarity, but this is still much, much greener. This has similarities to both light blue and polo blue, but without smelling exactly like either one. It kind of borrows a little bit from both and kind of does its own thing, but still not a unique fragrance at the same time. Not a super long lasting fragrance, like 3 hours is all I've been getting out of it. All I got out of it anyways. I may have gone anosmic to it because I was smelling it pretty rapidly because I really like the way this one smells. I really like the way this smells. I may have gone nose blind to it. So after about 3 hours, I couldn't smell it anymore, and I did reapply. Just sitting around in the office right here. That's how much I enjoyed the smell. So if you see this one out there, you want something that smells really good, Maritime Deep Blue definitely smells really good. Not the shower, that is what I went with. Well, that's the rotation for week number 87. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. Did you happen to wear anything that I wore this past week? Did we match anywhere? Don't have to match the same day. Just this past week, did we happen to wear a few fragrances the same? I love when that ends up happening with you guys. Let me know what your rotation looked like down below. And until next time, guys, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances that were featured in this week's rotation and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.